Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create amazing art that's truly next level, and more importantly, art that you actually want to use for your businesses, for print on demand, for whatever it is in your business using Leonardo.ai. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. I made in my last Leonardo.ai video the promise or the decree that I was going to show you how to iterate images that you have created on Leonardo.ai to create better formations. And I'll show you exactly what I mean in this video, and that's what this video is for. So really what I was doing here is I'm testing all kinds of different images. And one of the images that I created early on was a seed image, this is the original image that was created. And this is an image for me that I refer to as a seed image because I can use this image to create more different images with its likeness, okay? And it's important to understand the word likeness because that actually has a lot of importance from the concept of ownership and duty and things like that, but that's a whole different conversation for a different time. Now, the reason why I'm even mentioning that is because I use my images to make money off of them. I have a network of blogs and websites where I sell digital products, and one of the blog/website niche sites that I have is I create packs of images now, and I'm selling them by the pack of 50, okay? And I'm selling them for people that can do whatever they want with them. They can have commercial rights to them, all that kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm actually doing here and how I'm actually going to iterate on images to create what I want. So first thing what I wanted is I wanted to have a picture of lion type soldiers or knights or whatever you want to call them, which pretty much just looks like this. And the reason why I was able to create an image like this is because I used this image as the original, okay? So I used this image as the original. I edited the prompt to where I only wanted the difference of the head to be there, okay? And it actually came out pretty decent. Then what I did was I took one of these lion images and I wanted it to be a soldier or a knight, like just a knight, kind of like what you're seeing here or here. But these images do have their imperfections in my point of view. For example, with this image, I didn't necessarily want this golden, I guess you could say cloth style thing around the neck. And maybe I wanted the helmet to look slightly different. Even though it looks great, I wanted it to look different. I also wanted this portion to look different. So here I'm going to tell you how to iterate and how to split test your AI art to create some really phenomenal pieces. So the first iteration that I made was to get to this image. I added obviously the text in the prompt that I wanted, but also I added the image to image configuration. If you look over here to the left-hand side, this is a function that not a lot of people use, which is image to image. So essentially it works like this. I take an image that I want and I drag it and drop it into this function. And really what the AI tool will do is base my new creation off of it. So in other words, if you look really closely here to this image, okay, you have almost like a halo effect or an array of some sort around the body of the character. Here, you have the exact same thing. So, for example, on this, right, and on this, they all have the same details and same characteristics. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind as well. In fact, the one that I enhanced had the same thing as well. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. And so I have that added on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ever so slightly decrease, right, my initial strength. And I did that, and it produced results like this. Like I said, the more that the initial images decrease, the less characteristics will copy over. In my case, a 50% or a 0.50 image strength is just too much, and it doesn't produce the image results that I actually wanted. You could see here with a 0.50% how the images look. They look like a hybrid of a lion/gorilla face, and that's not what I wanted, okay? When I actually changed up the numbers, now it looks more lioness, to put things into perspective. But now I want to create a knight or a soldier to my characteristics, the style that I want. In fact, if I chose in my own perfect world, I would like to have this kind of body style, but with a different kind of helmet style, almost like a traditional, like a Roman soldier knight type of helmet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick something close to it. So I'll just take this exact one and I'll use this for image to image, and I'll start working on my prompt here. So I have a prompt that says a Starry Night shirt design of a knight. Remembrance style, etc. This is just my regular prompt. So I'm going to hit generate now and see what it comes up with. A little FYI is when you create art like this, you don't need to play around too much on the step count unless you are using free mode. And when I say free mode, I'm referring to without the fine-tune model. When you're using a fine-tune model, it's not needed as much. In my case, you could see here, I'm using literally, I don't know, a third of the step count that's required. I mean, you could see here it goes all the way up to 60, so let's say half. But I'm using a pretty low step count number, and I'm able to produce tremendous results here. So you can see here some of the results we have. Now, the reason why these images are very similar to this one is because of the image strength. I'm going to toggle this down to about a 0.2, which is about 20%. And I'm going to hit generate as well. And so I'm going to iterate every single time. This is where we're going to talk about the iterations. While we wait for some results, I will say that when I mentioned about how I sell the art and things like that, if you want to see more details on that, you can check out my other YouTube channel. The link will be in the description. And also, I use Rocket Web Builder to go ahead and do so. They have the templates on the website and a whole bunch of other stuff that allows me to do that. All right, so that's just a little FYI for you guys. Now you can see here that the art is somewhat changing. This is probably closest so far to what I was looking for. Already the chest is looking a little bit better. You could see hair on this side of the helmet. It's looking okay. I'm going to add some words that can change and alter the design. So I can type in here traditional castle knight. Right? And that might change the configuration or the detail of the image, right? That might change certain aspects of it, okay? Now, if I ever feel like it's not going where I want it to be, I can upscale particular images, right? And then I can use them for image to image so that I can get more details as to what I'm looking for, more different variations. I can also play around with my image strength. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here, and we'll see the results that come up. So now you can see the results did change. In fact, when I look at these right away, they're all very, very cool. This is probably the coolest out of all of them, but this is probably the one that's more traditional as to what I'm looking for. So if this is more what I'm looking for, I'm going to go ahead and upscale the image. This image is going to be upscaled because I'll tell you what I'm looking for. The way these shoulders were kind of made, the way the chest section was made, right? These arm sections are pretty decent. And as it upscales, it will have a different look. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Leonardo.ai is one of these platforms, and I'm going to upscale both of these, by the way, but Leonardo.ai is one of these platforms that as it upscales, it does change the way that image actually looks and the details on the image. So now this is a different image than what this was. Or excuse me, this is a different image than the original, which is what this was. And I know they are similar, but you can see here there are more details to it. That's something to keep in mind as well. And I could look at this image, for example, and this image is pretty cool. Okay, and I could actually toggle, once again, a split test. So referring to a split test, the only difference between a split test is one simple change. And you got to ask yourself, what is the simple change? So in my case, I can do this here by grabbing this and using it for an image to image. And you can see here that's indeed what I'm doing. And just to be clear, if I ever worry that it's not using the right one that I want, so like for example, if it's using this and it's not using the upscaled one, because they do make a difference, I'll go ahead and save image and save it, because when I use image to image, it will generally go for the original, and I'll just drag and drop right here. And here you could see, once again, the initial image strength is 2. I'm going to keep this the same. The only change that I'm making here, this is why it's a split test, is the image here, okay? This is also referred to as an A/B test, okay? So my A position or my A, criteria was all criteria that was necessary to create this. Now my second criteria, my B test, is taking this image and keeping all the criteria still the same except for that one image. Okay, so I have an A/B test kind of approach, and I'm seeing the results that come up as well. All right, and I'm gradually upscaling and entering through image to image the ones that I want to see. So now you can see I have tremendously different results here. So this one looks almost like a Star Wars character. This one looks really good. I think from a standpoint of what I'm looking for, it looks decent. This is just totally whacked out. Not what I'm looking for. I do like the shoulders though. And this one is very castle-like, in my opinion. Just the helmet is not where it needs to be. So now I can be specific on certain things. So if I feel like it's getting too far away from what I want, I can increase the image strength very slightly. And in this consideration, since I'm going to do more than one change, this is referred to as iterations as opposed to a split test. Okay, so I can increase, for example, my guidance scale to a 9, and I increase my image strength to, let's say, a 0.3 as opposed to a 0.2, and I can hit generate. And that will provide me certain results. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this, I'll go ahead and upscale the ones that I actually like to see. So these two are probably ones that I like. And once again, when I sell this art, these packs of arts, these art packages, okay, on my private websites, what I'll do is I'll take them and I'll take all the upscaled ones and package them. And I'll create a product, a landing page. I'll create, a landing page for the product. I'll create the different images in the package. And when somebody goes and buys the product, I'm good to go. And I'll actually give you a sneak peek as to how that works. Before I talk about which images I like the most here, very simple. I go over here to Rocket Web Builder, and I have actually these templates already created for me. But if you look here, these are the funnels section. And I create these funnels. And the funnels look something like this. So the landing page will look something like this. Obviously, we're not selling chairs. We're selling digital products. In my case, it's a pack of like 50 or 25 images. And then if somebody wants to click order now, they get taken to the second step, right, which is the checkout page. And then the thank you page after they type in their credit card information. And then in the thank you page, I edit this page with a download button. And then after they download, that's pretty much it, right? So those are the 3 steps. And I have, like I said, a website associated with that and everything like that. And that's one of my side businesses, which is what I have been telling you guys for the past few, I guess you could say, weeks now with this whole AI stuff. Is I always tell you guys, try to figure out how to monetize and make money off this stuff in a way that you could. And for me, selling the digital art is a very easy way to produce some extra income. And because I'm giving people the commercial rights to do so, I can charge more for it than someone else typically would, as opposed to just selling it for the purpose of print on demand, for example. And here again, guys, we're getting closer and closer to what I prefer, right? So now we have better images for the hands. I know the hands aren't perfect, but once again, we're getting closer and closer. And so if I like this one over this, I would probably replace it. In my case, I don't. I prefer the one here, but I will upscale it because I think it's pretty cool. And I'm going to go ahead and just increase here the power of this image slightly more and hit generate and see the difference. And you can see here, this isn't a perfect example of a split test, right? So this criteria all produced these results. Even though I did upscale this, the only change I made was increase the initial image strength. And now it's going to produce a different set of results based on me increasing this. So that's important to understand as well. All right. And finally, we'll just take a look at these last set of images. And once again, it's fun to do this. It's easy to do this. I just go in, create different images, upscale them. I enjoy them the way I do, creating them, and then I get to monetize off of them. And I don't really have to actually work too hard to do that. All right. So out of all these different images, they're decent. I would just say here, in terms of upscaling, if I upscaled, I'd probably upscale this one, but I'm really looking for different sets of characteristics here. So I would really get rid of this, and then I'll go for something like this. And now I would just remove some text here. So instead of traditional castle knight, I would type in here castle. I would type in Roman soldier knight. Okay, and now it's going to produce for me a completely different set of results. We're going to bring this back down to a 20 here. Okay, just like that. Let's say 19 is a little bit too low. we'll go to a perfect 20, and the step count we can increase. Just be aware when you do increase the step count, the token cost will increase as well. But that's something to keep in mind. But now I'm gonna be interested to see here how they look. Now this image here looks drastically different than what I'm describing, right? I'm describing a Roman soldier knight. You could search how those look. They don't have these breastplates and these kind of, I guess you could say this kind of tavern-like clothing. They don't have that. Okay, a Roman soldier doesn't really wear that unless it's on the cape. So I'm interested to see what it will come out with. And there we go. We got some other crazy stuff now. So out of all of these, I would say this one is probably my favorite. Now, obviously, some iterations would need to take care of, but that's an idea. Okay, this one is pretty cool too as well. The face is a little weird, but I mean, it's okay. In fact, I could actually get rid of the image and hit generate, and that would be an example of a split test as well. Just keep in mind, to create some amazing images, you don't always need image-to-image creation. You really don't. You can be surprised about what can be created here through these generations. And just out of curiosity, I'm very curious to see what's going to come up. You guys are seeing this with me. And if you guys want me to create some marathon videos where I just sit here and just create different images, let me know in the comments. Join me in the videos. Let's go ahead and talk about it, and I'll show you different things that I'm creating. So, like I said, the only purpose for this, for me, is to monetize off of. And you could see here all this kind of cool, different, stuff. Like an image like this is a tremendous image. I'm definitely going to upscale this. This is a winner for sure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, remove the word knight, and I'm just going to keep the word Roman soldier. And I'm going to hit generate as well so you guys can see this. And I can go on forever with this. I know some of you might get a little bit bored, but I actually like this image too. I think this image is very traditional of what a soldier or a knight would look like. And it looks great, so I would take that. This one also as well looks very good, but I don't want to overload my fan base, the ones that I'm selling these products to, with all these like same style images. So I like to give them some diversity, and the images that I'm creating here is definitely going to do that for them. When it comes down to an image like this or an image like this, it's going to do a lot for them here. Okay, so you could see here we got a whole bunch of stuff. I could type in, instead of Roman soldier, I could type in Spartan. Okay, Spartan, and we'll hit generate. This will be the last one. Okay, this will be the last one for sure. But you could see here, it's just a ton of really, really cool stuff. Actually, we'll do one more generation just for fun, and I'll add the word red here. I'll hit generate as well, and we'll see what will come up from these two generations. One thing I also do like about Leonardo.ai is I could generate multiple sets of images at a time. Okay, so here we go. Phenomenal image. This is a winner right here. I'm going to go ahead and upscale this. Okay, and this image is also phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and upscale this. Okay, pretty cool stuff. And then we're just waiting for this set here. And this is the last set that I'll put here on air. And we might as well just take a look at it. So phenomenal stuff. This is cool. This is a little weird. I'm probably not going to use this one. This one is cool. This one is cool. But this one I would say is probably my favorite out of this stack. If you guys let me know which one that you like the most, I think this one I would use, honestly, to sell this. This one I don't think I would, to be honest. This one I might not. We'll create another generation, why not? But this is definitely a winner here for me. And this also very, very good. This looks like a superhero type, And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, guys. So we'll just sit here and wait for the last set. And once again, just a reminder, as we wait for the last set of images, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to see how I create niche sites, how I create blogs, how I create all these different businesses, if you want to set up your own businesses. And that's pretty much it. You guys see here the results. We have this one, we have this one, we have this, and we have this. So all tremendous stuff here. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye. See ya.